Mr. Martin. All right, this is 251756, the People versus Eric Martin. Mr. Martin, can you tell me your first and last name?
No, really don't want to give no name, so it's not fraudulent presumed on something else.
All right, well, I recognize you. You're Eric Martin. Sir, you've been brought to court on some charges here. Count 1 and count 2. The warrant alleges on June 12th of 2025 at property located at 9 in the city of Taylor, a foreign complaint in this court was filed against you stating that on that date and location, the defendant, that's you, contrary to law, 1, did make an assault or an assault and battery upon the following person, Lisa K. Martin, contrary to MCL 750.81, parent 1. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail and up to $500 fine. He's already been arraigned. Yeah, he's just. Oh, so you know the original charges against you. And part of those charges against you, let's see, you could not have any contact with the complaining witness, Lisa K. Martin. You could not go to the address and you could not have any contact through the phone. You couldn't go in person. You couldn't go to the residence, period. And there's an allegation. I've got a report. You were arraigned on these allegations. It looks like on the 14th out county by Judge Burton. And then I have a police report that alleges on June 16th, officers were dispatched to that location. And there are allegations that you entered the residence through the back door and were actually in the home at time of arrest for violating your bond conditions. Those are the allegations against you.
Buckle up, guys. Today we're going to witness Eric Martin, the self-proclaimed living man who just got out of jail but couldn't even last 2 days without breaking the rules. The narrator wastes no time, reminding us of Martin's wild antics and setting the stage for his latest courtroom disaster. It's the perfect setup for what's about to unfold. Pure sovereign citizen chaos waiting to erupt.
I move to dismiss the charges because the alleged bond conditions supposedly against me, which is really not against me anyways. Legal fiction, corporate entity defendant, which does not mean I'm a living man. But anyways, besides that issue, the bond conditions violate my right to be presumed innocent before guilty. Because I am presumed innocent before guilty, any bond conditions violate my right. Because if I'm innocent, then I cannot be told you can't do this, you can't do that.
So, Mr. Martin, are you entering a guilty or not guilty plea on that violation?
First of all, I'm not a defendant, so I'm not here to enter a plea. How can I enter a plea? I'm not the one charged.
Okay, then I'm going to say you're standing mute. It's my understanding you've refused to meet with counsel. You don't want an attorney. So I'm entering a not guilty plea on your behalf.
So, okay, well, so have you made the legal determination that I'm not guilty?
No, sir. I'm doing it based on your arraignment. You understand the allegation against you. Do you? I just told you what it is. The allegation is you violated a condition of your bond on an assault and battery domestic violence case by returning to the address after being ordered you could not return to the address.
So like I said, I moved to like I said, bond conditions violate the right to be presumed innocent anyway, so that's no true bond condition violation is legit anyways. And there's no probable cause in this case. I should have been arrested illegally anyways because there is no evidence My sister lied. Her allegations are a total lie.
All right, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you, sir. You understand what the allegation is? You were just arraigned on it 2 days before picking up this, the original charge 2 days before picking up this violation. Mr. Martin, this is, I hear you. This is standard for you. And I honestly, you won't listen to court orders. You think they don't apply to you. You continue to go back to a residence you've been advised not to go to. You have a $25,000 cash or surety bond with a GPS tether.
Well, first of all, I don't have, it ain't like I have a choice. I have another house to go to for one.
All right, guys, the judge lays out the charges against Martin: assault and battery, no contact orders, and strict bond conditions. But here's the kicker. Martin was literally caught inside the very house he was forbidden to enter. The judge explains it plainly, almost mocking how undeniable the violation is. Suspense builds as the case becomes clear. Martin doesn't just bend rules. He shatters them without hesitation.
You couldn't go to the residence, period. And there's an allegation. I've got a report. You were arraigned on these allegations. It looks like on the 14th out county by Judge Burton. And then I have a police report that alleges on June 16th.
Here Martin pulls out the classic Sovereign Citizen Handbook. He claims bond conditions are unconstitutional, denies being a defendant, and flat out refuses to enter a plea. The courtroom tension spikes as the judge, unfazed, steps in and enters a not guilty plea on his behalf. It's a clash of fantasy versus reality. Martin desperately trying to dodge accountability, while the judge keeps things grounded in law.
We'll call the case of the state of Michigan versus Lawrence Buckner, case number 25S00102.
Tiffany Woods for the people.
I'm Plug Defender Dr. Lieb on behalf of Mr. Buckner. Mr. Buckner, can you state your name, sir? Mr. Buckner, could you state your name, sir?
Lawrence Buckner.
And could you turn on your video, please?
All right, we're here for sentencing today.
Yes, Your Honor, I have reviewed the report and recommendation with Mr. Buckner. I don't believe we don't have any factual modifications to the report. I would like to provide them elocution. Shouldn't ask the court not to accept the recommendation.
Thank you. Ms. Woods?
One moment, Judge. I'm pulling up my notes right now. My computer is just a little slow.
Mr. Buckner, are you driving, sir?
No, ma'am. I'm not driving.
Judge, I've also had an opportunity to review the PSIR recommendation, and I'd ask the court to follow the recommendation within that report. Thank you.
Mr. Buckner, why do I hear your blinker on? So,
That's my hazard lights.
your what?
That's my hazard lights. Those are my hazard lights.
Mr. Lebo, what would you like to say on behalf of your client, please?
First, I want to note that when I discussed this with Mr. Buckner yesterday, he told me that he understands that when he got upset, when he felt provoked by the officer, he should have kept his mouth shut, and he shouldn't have made any kind of threatening statement, even if he felt disrespected. He did ask me to let the court know that he was at a gas station getting his tire fixed during the interview. He tells me that he was not driving. He also wants me to let the court know that he will comply with any probationary sentence issued by the court. He did state to the probation he doesn't feel he would benefit from probation, but he did tell me when we spoke that he will comply fully with any probation conditions imposed by the court. So we would ask the court to consider imposing a fines and cost sentence or a period of probation rather than filing the recommendation for 30 days in jail.
Did he do a class? I was a little confused because it said in there he did the class. Did you do a class, Mr. Buckner?
No, I've been just going to my regular therapist. But what the Mr. Lebo is saying, what he's talking about is the PSI and what I stated assertively. And I think you would be proud of me, Miss Roshan, because I didn't raise my voice, I didn't cuss, and none of that crazy stuff I normally.
The drama escalates as Martin insists his sister lied and that he was wrongly arrested. He argues there's no evidence, dismissing the entire case as fabricated. The judge firmly warns him that anything he says can and will be used against him. This moment captures Martin's reckless confidence colliding with the hard edge of courtroom procedure, showing how far he'll go to spin his narrative.
There's two incidents that the probation reviewer person said to me, and I really don't want my words misconstrued. I don't want them taken out of context. He said, when he got first thing, he said, talk about the apology. And I told the probation officer, I said, if you was offended by a person, would it be more genuine for the person who offended you to apologize or for you to get a third party? Case in point, your sister stole some money from you and you feel she owes you an apology. You want to forgive her. You want to move forward in life, but she doesn't come forth. Your mother or another relative comes. Anybody that's a natural human will see that that is non-genuine at all. The officer never felt anything wrong about the way he treated me until you pointed it out. So if you would have never pointed it out, there would have never been an attempt of an apology or anything. I'm a regular human being. I try to live on regular life principles. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Like I told the probation officer, I never, not one time, did not take accountability for any of my actions. I was trying to be very clear, direct, and assertive as possible in giving my reason as to why we here today. You know, even during the court proceedings, you reprimanded the officer, but the bad part about it is the officer don't get no charge. I get a charge. And like I told him, life is not fair, but I will accept anything. Even though in my heart I may not agree with it, I'm still going to accept and comply. That's what I told the probation officer. And by me saying that, that is not being defiant to the courts. It's not being defiant to anybody of authority. I just simply say, hey, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to stay free, even though I don't agree with it. That's exactly what that means. So for my words to be taken out of context, yes, I'm very, I feel very disrespected. I feel like it's a plot against me just to throw me in jail. 30 days in jail ain't going to do nothing. It's what will it benefit to remove me from my family for a phone call? What warrants that? I really would like for you, because the whole meeting was videotaped. I really would like for you to watch it, because if you watch it, you will see that I was assertive as well as respectful. I didn't disrespect nobody. I was very clear about everything that transpired during the situation. Do I feel messed up? Yes, because the officer that I made the statement towards is the same officer that's been arresting me since I was a teenager. So it is my belief, and notice I said it is my belief, that the moment the phone call came in, that officer didn't care about the threatening of the other officer. He's like, I finally got Lawrence Buckner, and I'm gonna go push this all the way up. And like I said, that's my belief. I just sat in jail for 30 some days for something that I didn't do. And like, it's a difference between actually committing a crime, getting caught red-handed, versus somebody, constantly going to jail. And this was all one big thing, because you have been my judge, named there for every case. I have lost my dogs. I've lost my business. I have lost my entire livelihood because of a woman telling a white lie, to where now I got to get transcripts from the courts so I can file a lawsuit, because I got put in jail for being black, being at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Now the judge's patience begins to wear thin. He reminds Martin of his $25,000 bond and GPS tether, pointing out this behavior is nothing new. The judge bluntly says Martin refuses to listen and continues to return to the very residence he was ordered to avoid. It's a stern reality check, exposing Martin's defiance as a pattern that the court can no longer overlook.
Officers are the same officers who have been arresting me since I was 15 years old, and then want to get in front of you and act like they don't know who I am when the officer admitted in court, yeah, I dealt with Mr. Buckner in the past. Because you dealt with me in the past, that's why as soon as I called, you was instantly, oh, he a liar. I don't care nothing you got to say. And then when I respond out of feelings, out of hurt, out of embarrassment, now I get a charge. Now I want to be put in jail for 30 days. So what does it really warrant? Like, I just lost my whole livelihood. They took all my dogs because of this. Everything.
Mr. Buckner, you're yelling again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm my bad. My bad. I apologize. Like, nobody's taking into account of that. Nobody's saying, hey, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Okay. I didn't just get on the phone threatening nobody. I tried to be respectful. I tried to follow the chain of authority to report abuse of authority to his colleague. And what do I get? I get mistreated. I get disrespected. I didn't deserve that. And all he gets to do is get a reprimand and go about his life. He don't care about no apology. He don't. He didn't care until you pointed it out. And that's just like if you raising children and you say, go apologize to such and such. If you have to tell that child to do that over and over and over again, that child will never learn to give a genuine apology or be accountable on his own.
This is a turning point. The judge delivers a hammer with a line that cuts sharp. He tells Martin he finally has a new house, jail. It's a mic drop moment where all of Martin's arguments and protests collapse under the weight of accountability. Short but powerful, it captures the exact second the courtroom shifts from debate to final consequence.
I was greatly disrespected, me and my family. For what? And jail, and then the prosecutor want to just send me to jail. She don't even know my life. She don't know what I've been through. Everything is just jail, jail, jail. Jail is not always the answer. Jail is not the answer. How is jail the answer? Can nobody in this courtroom explain why jail is the answer? If I was so much of a threat and anti-government, I'd be blowing up buildings. You see me blowing up buildings? You see me starting stuff? I'm not doing nothing. The same stuff I've been doing when I came home from prison in 2020. You know, and every time I tell the courts on record, on YouTube, every time I tell the courts that I have been maliciously persecuted by Washtenaw County sheriffs for not cooperating when I got shot, nobody believes me. Nobody cares. But all these magical cases come up on me. Places that shootouts happen and I wasn't even there. My GPS proves it, but I'm still in jail. Like, my mental is broke down. I have no more faith in the justice system. I am done. My life is in the last 6 months has went to crap. Okay, over a white lie. And in 2025, you would think that you could drive anywhere around the United States. But no, that ain't the case. That I was instantly stigmatized as a drug dealer, pulling up and then passing out guns. Man, my life is ruined. I worked so hard to build my dog community up. I took my dogs to the old folks home. So many people was affected by this. I took my dogs to schools. I took my dogs to help children. And now I'm so much of a threat to society to where I have to be remanded to Washtenaw County or suggested I be remanded for Washtenaw County. With nobody not even doing no type of investigation on my life. Like, I'm actually an asset to my community. I'm not a liability to my community. You put people in jail that's liability, that's not assets, that don't benefit, that don't bring nothing, that don't have no self-worth or not knowledge of their self-worth. People who have self-worth, people who making a constant effort, especially from the degrees of changes that I've made from my past, I'm doing remarkable. You know, and still and yet, like I still, for the life of me, cannot understand as to why I'm sitting in front of you. I swear I don't. You know, I try to sit about it every day. These are the same officers that pull me over every single day, every other week, harass me, and then get into court and act like nobody harassed me. Why would I call the police? I called the police on the police. So that means something had to happen to me. Something is constantly happening to me, constantly pulling me over, constantly sitting in front of my house, just harassing me, constantly coming to my house every day. Come on, come to court. Tell us she shot. We need you to testify. No, no, no. And then as soon as I keep telling them no, I get all these magical cases. Like, why won't they just leave me alone? Nobody will listen to me. Nobody. I've been in jail for over almost 2 months for nothing. I can see if I actually did them crimes. So my whole religion, my spirituality is crushed. I don't know what to believe no more. I was a very religious person, a very spiritual person, but life done beat me down. It done beat me down. And everything I think about is what happened to my ancestors. It's relevant to me because I went to jail for being black. So yes, my mindset is different. My mindset is very different. I don't know. I don't trust Europeans because a European just tried to take away my life. A European came to court and lied on me when all these cameras proved I didn't do nothing. And I sat in jail. I was tortured. I was not allowed to practice my religion. None of this. I just missed my aunt's funeral. My aunt just died. She was the only person to ever write me in prison after my mama died. And I couldn't go to my aunt's funeral because of a tether, a GPS tether that Judge Simpson ordered to be taken off. When Judge Simpson ordered to be taken off the tether, they still left me on the tether. I couldn't even go to my aunt's funeral. I couldn't even do that, but nobody's talking about that. I had a court order to take it off, and I couldn't even go pay my respects. This woman, she didn't have much. She sent me money. She made sure I had a letter every week. Every week. She'll tell me I love you, even though it was just the words. But nobody's looking at that. Just send Mr. Buckner to jail. Send him to jail. Jail ain't the answer.
The narrator steps back in, mocking Martin as the world's tallest mental case. It's a wrap-up of this chapter, reminding us that Martin's story isn't over. He still has his original charges and now a bond violation hearing ahead. The commentary is sharp and sarcastic, signaling the end of one courtroom circus before ushering us straight into the next act of sovereign citizen drama.
We will begin in case 25M001076. It's entitled The People of the City of Marshall versus Leonard Jr. Cousineau. Is that your name, sir?
Cousineau. Leonard Jr. Cousineau.
Yeah. I keep mispronouncing it. I apologize. I forgot that I needed to broadcast this on YouTube, but we had gone through what the citation alleges, which is an expired plate, and that we're going to be you're scheduled for a hearing today. When I asked whether you wish to admit or deny, you indicated you initially wanted to deny responsibility because essentially you had a motion to dismiss. Is that correct?
Yes, I had no motion to dismiss.
And this motion was, your first statement to the court was that you indicated the Michigan Motor Vehicle Code was not, at least this violation was not applicable to you because you weren't driving in a commercial sense. Is that correct?
Yes, and I'd like to ask the officer if I was hauling anybody or unloading or loading anything in my car.
Well, I will ask
That would
the
say
officer.
I was commercial.
Officer Dickinson, was there anyone else in the vehicle?
There was not.
Okay, and was well, Mr.
Cousineau, you got it.
I will get it right one of these times, and I'll keep getting it wrong.
Yeah.
I mean no disrespect. Okay, so yeah, I think that the officer would grant that you were not driving for commercial profit in any way.
Yes.
At least that's my understanding. Is that correct, Officer Dickinson?
Affirm.
Okay. So go ahead with your motion, I suppose, sir.
I motion to have it dismissed.
Well, on the basis just that the Michigan
on
Motor
why?
Vehicle Code.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, hold on. The enhancement caused by the commercial MVC covered by the traffic law enforcement education. Yes or no? And then the Michigan Vehicle Code, Act 300 of 1949. An act provides the registration, titling, sale, transfer, and regulations of certain vehicle operations upon the public highways of this state. So the Officers Act clearly states that only certain vehicles are liable to the Michigan Motor Vehicle Code. Do you know the vehicles are liable to be regulated? Answer yes or no.